happened, and who was sick, or who was getting married or whatever. There was a dam about 60 miles north of Lu, and every week, twice a week, Wednesday and Saturday, they used to open up the dam, and they used to bring down the logs from the forest, cleaned up, and they used to be men, they used to tie together the logs, and there used to be men piloting like the logs down the river, which was going into Hungary. Hungary was very poor in forests. They didn't have any forests. So they used to buy all kinds of lumber and logs from our area. And that's how they used to get them down. That was the transportation, was on the river. Certain places were dangerous to swim if you were not too good of a swimmer. But certain places you could go in and just cool off in the summertime. And the women used to go down to the river and do their laundry, but not where it was swimming. They used to go away from the places, where it was more rocky, so they can do their laundry. They used to beat the laundry in the rocks, so to make it clean. Well, the Jewish weddings, as I remember, is they used to have big feasts, really. Weddings, they didn't send out invitations, but the whole community was invited. There was no such thing as leaving out anybody. And I think a day before, the groom could not see the bride. I mean, that was the custom. And the bride, when she came to the wedding, to the place where the wedding was, she came with her friends, and she used to be in a room, and before the wedding, before the ceremony, there was a guy who used to sing all kinds of poems. And when he went along singing, he made up the words. And sometimes it used to be very sad, words for the bride, that she's leaving the mother and father, and she's starting a new life, and it was sad, and the women used to cry. And then the groom used to walk in with his friends, and they used to make sure, that was the tradition or the custom, to make sure that he's getting the girl he wants to marry. So he came to check if that's the girl. And that's how he, married her. After he looked and it was the girl he wanted to marry, then they went into the room where the ceremony was. And after the ceremony, they had a band who used to be a very loud, Jewish songs and all kinds of very good for dancing and jumping around, And they used to have a lot of food, and usually weddings used to last for 2-3 days. Everybody had a good time. And they used to have a few drinks, and after you have a few drinks, you even enjoy more. You know, you dance a lot and you jump around, and it was very freilich. Well, during the year, you know, we had the traditional holidays and religious holidays. One of them was Hanukkah and Purim, and which was traditional holidays, and everybody was exchanging gifts. The women used to bake for weeks and send out all kinds of cakes and cookies and whatever. Also certain gifts like dresses or aprons or men's sweaters or women's sweaters. They used to exchange gifts. And for the poor people, my father used to put in money too. And that was Purim and Hanukkah. On the high holidays, I used to be very religious. We used to have a cantor, hire a cantor to come to our town and perform the religious prayers. It was very moving. And some religious holidays used to go, my father used to be a chosed, followed this rabbi from Vishnitz, which was always on tour on the high holidays. He used to be sometimes near us, not too far from us, so we used to go for the high holidays to the place where he was. And I remember one high holiday, I was about 12 years old. I was so moved with the cantor and the choir they had that I didn't eat the whole day. I fasted. That was on Yom Kippur. And I think that was the first time I fasted all day and the last time. I don't think I fasted after that the whole day. I used to enjoy a cantorial service in the choir. So I was looking forward for these holidays. And usually at these holidays we used to get new clothes, you know, and we looked forward to it, you know, a new suit, a new pair of shoes, shirts and neckties, and we used to dress up, and it was really fun.
Well, at the Munich Agreement in September of 1938, Germany received the Sudetenland. At the same time, Hungary had also been making demands on the Czechoslovakian Republic for the return of lands that they had once occupied in the days of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. And the Munich Pact also decided that Hungary's demands would be met within 3 months after the meeting. So in November of 1938, in Vienna, the Vienna Award was given out, and Hungary received parts of Carpathia as well as parts of Eastern Slovakia. Now, the political climate in Carpathia then was that they had their own government. It was made up of the Carpatho-Ukraine people, and the strong arm of that government was the Siches, or Sich Guard, and they were very anti-Semitic. Now, things went like that from September 38 till March 15th, 1939. And on March 15th, 1939, the Hungarians invaded, and they took over the little amount of Carpathia that was left.